Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going about announcements. This is a bit of a different format to doing the announcements than I did in the past, but there's a decent bit of information this time around, so I decided to do it in this form. So we're going to reflect on the results of the Account Mayhem. We're going to talk about Turtle Wars Season 3. First things first, Account Mayhem 4. Green Screen and Roomba Wars, the victors, congratulations. What it means? Well, it means that they are the 4th Account Mayhem champion. They will be invited back automatically to the next Account Mayhem. But biggest thing maybe, they are the 12th machine locked in for Turtle Wars' 3rd season. Honestly, this thing might do pretty well. Account Mayhem bots haven't had a great time in my main series, but a green screen looked really, really good in the Account Mayhem, and I definitely think they have a lot of potential, you know? So congratulations to them. Other reflections. I'm really sad about Hyperlash's loss. Like, that one hurt a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I really wish we had seen more of Hyperlash. Whether or not he could have beaten Greenskin in the final, that could be debated, but it's really upsetting that they lost to GH Bot for me. Made me feel very saddened because of how close they were to winning that and because of how unique of a bot they are. Congrats to GH Bot for second place. That is the best a flipper has done in the Account Mayhem to date, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because ARRW got 4th in Account Mayhem 3. Outside of that, flippers haven't really done great. TNT got top 4 in the first Account Mayhem. A couple of real shames. Among Us Tombstone probably could have had a better run if not for the fact that Goldmine just broke the weapon chain in their first match and it couldn't really get fixed. Rainbow Fidget, really unlucky first match to get deflected in the pit, and then also really unlucky to get drawn against Scammed. The whole Heat B was kind of unlucky. Like, you got drawn in there. It was really rough because there were some really good bots. Storm 2 maybe performed higher than expectations, but outside of that, the only like weak bot I would say in that heat was Jumbo Josh, whereas in Heat A you had um, Abomination 2, Goldmine, Bot, those guys, which like they're not really bad bots, but by comparison to the people in the second heat, they're not really that strong. So it's a real shame. Anarchy is another bot that I feel really bad for because they got really unlucky. The Storm 2 fight was really unlucky for them. So was the Rotator fight. Like, it's just really tough, you know? But yeah, here is another thing to mention that will go along with the rules later in the season. Like I've said a couple times in community posts, I am opening up Turtle Wars Season 3 to you guys, the viewers. You will be allowed to enter up to 3 machines. You don't have to enter 3, but you can enter at most 3. For Roomba Wars, green screen does not count towards that 3, so technically he can enter up to 4 machines in this next season. Next up, arena changes. I'm gonna try and get some screws or an arena drum going. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to definitely attempt it. We need more house robots. I only have the 2, so I'm gonna try and get 1, maybe 2 more new house robots. Got some ideas for that. I'm gonna raise the arena up because in the Account Mayhem, a lot of bots were escaping the pit. So that's not really fair necessarily. You're not supposed to really be able to escape the pit. And I may add a pit cover and release button. This is because I don't want because of how big the pit in the arena is, I don't want fights to be ended super quickly. Like, look at the Anarchy Storm 2 match from the Account Mayhem, for example. I don't want fights to be ending super quickly and it's just one of the bots gets thrown in the pit. That's not fun. That's not a good fight, you know? So I'm going to raise the pit. I'm going to raise the entire arena up, um, so that you can't escape the pit if you go in, but I'm also going to add a pit cover and a pit release button so people aren't just immediately thrusted into the pit, you know? For season 3, we're going to talk a bit about the format here because it is kind of important. I'm currently going between technically 3 different formats. First one, 6 heats of 8 machines, 48 total competitors. Um, Basically, it's all just straight head to heads, and it's a very similar format to the account Mayhem. It's a double elimination bracket, and two uh, two heat winners come from each heat. The machine that wins all of the upper bracket matches, and the machine that wins all of the lower bracket matches. So it's basically the account Mayhem, except the loser of the upper bracket final goes into the lower bracket and faces whichever machine won the lower bracket final. So it would have been Hyperlash taking on Green Screen and Heat A for a spot in the playoffs rather than both going through, you know? 12 semifinalists. Semis are similar to Robot Wars Series 5 and 6. And the episodes will be very long, just because, I mean, this is probably an even longer format than the account Mayhem, you know? So they'll probably be around an hour long, which, you know, not amazing, but is what it is. The next 2 formats are both fight card formats, and the debate to me is between top 16 and top 32. Now, the reason to do top 16, honestly, I don't know. There's not really any positives. It's just like it will be less regular season episodes. I suppose that's the positive there. It's less regular season episodes because there's less machines. If there is going to be a fight card format with the top 16, there will be 32 competitors. I'm not going over that. I don't want to go under that. That's just what it's going to be, you know? So 50% of machines are going to get eliminated. And the bonus is really shorter episodes, maybe, but less episodes overall. That's the real bonus. You won't have to wait as long for the playoffs to come. The other format is the top 32, which will be between 52 and 64 competitors, depending on how much interest we get and how many people, you know, enter machines. Um, the reason to do the top 32 and the reason I want to do it over top 16 is because if you do a top 32, more bots obviously make the playoffs, and the benefit of that is getting runs like what we saw in the last season of BattleBots with Ribot. They went 1-3 and then came into the playoffs and made it all the way to the top 4. You don't get that if it's only the top 16, you know? So that's kind of it. Each machine would get 4 fights, and here is the biggest difference between the BattleBots fight card format and fight card format for this season. The competitors will be split in half and separated into 2 groups, 2 tiers, a high and a low tier. The 11 bots from last season that are automatically invited back alongside Green Screen, they are currently in the high tier. Based on the qualifiers, um, a bot's history, how they looked in their qualifying match, how they look on paper, all of that will be taken into consideration when putting machines in tiers. The idea is that you will face 3 competitors from the same tier as you and 1 from the other tier. So it's not just one machine has 4 really easy matches and can go 4-0 while not looking that great. The idea here is basically for the low tier bots, they face 3 machines of the same caliber as them, but they are also guaranteed to face one that is considered better than they are. They have to prove themselves against a good machine, you know? And that's kind of it. You know, it also makes selecting which bots make the playoffs a bit easier because a 3-1 machine from the low tier who got 3 okay wins against bots of their tier but then got wrecked by a high tier opponent is not going to be considered better than a high tier machine who beat two other high tier machines and lost close matches in the other two, stuff like that, you know? So it makes it so you're not going to have four easy opponents so that you get an quick and easy 4-0, and it makes it easier on the quote unquote selection committee for choosing which teams make it to the playoffs. And the last thing for this video, the one I'm sure everyone really cares about, entering custom machines and the rules for doing that. So, like I said, you can enter up to 3 machines. This is true for everybody. The only exception is Roomba Wars, who already has green screen. He can now enter 3 more competitors if he so chooses. So he would have 4 total in the series. They will compete in the qualifiers. Not every one of these custom entered machines are going to make it to the main series. Probably. Maybe they will. Who knows? But just know if you don't see them in the main series, that means they lost their qualifier match. I will be posting on the community posts the results of qualifier matches. I will do that in sets of 3. So I already posted one showing off some of the, again, quote unquote, early qualifiers. That was Apollo, Medcart, and Spider, winning over Vertical, some Axbot that I'm forgetting the name of, and Supernova. So I will be updating on the community post. I will be sending out videos saying, or not videos, but posts showing off the machines that qualified with pictures and all that, and saying who they beat, how they beat them, all of that. So that's how you can check to see if your bot made it or if it didn't. Now, the list of information that I need to have for your machine to get entered into the main series is as followed. I need a team name. That can just be like your channel name. You could do Team Roomba Wars or Team Delboy or whatever. Team country. It doesn't have to be the country you're from. You could be like, you could be from the UK and be like, yeah, this team is from Uruguay or something like that, you know? Team members, again, it doesn't have to be uh, anything too special. You could just be like, team members, it's me, Roomba Wars. That's it, you know? Or you could make up a bunch of fake names or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But team members, you know? And then for each machine, I need the name, of course, color scheme, weapon, drive, whether it's 2-wheel or 4-wheel or 6-wheel or 16-wheel, you know, and whether or not they're exposed or protected and all that. And then any other information you want me to have, like if it's a multi-bot, if it has little mini bots, if it has interchangeable configurations and all of that, you know, stuff like that. I think that covers everything I should need. In essence, it's the information you give for the account Mayhem machines, plus, you know, team name, team country, team members. Outside of that, that's really it. You know, just enter these machines like you were entering the account Mayhem, and you'll be fine. So that is just about it. Probably not going to be posting a ton of videos during this point in time, but I will be running qualifiers for season 3. So that's what we will see. Yeah, not much more to say. That is it for today. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your afternoon or morning or whenever this comes out. Goodbye.